I am Coach Krystal Brodeen, and I got next.
You next up and you ain't been on SportsLifeTalk. Like, what are you doing? Hey, you better hit him up. Look, you breaking it, you up next. Keep the wins go hard. Rise and star on the big scene, make them know who you are. You don't break a sweat, don't settle for less. They put you through that test, your resume that flex. Who got next? Who got next? SLT, ready, say go. Who got next? Who got next? Living my dreams and all your goals. Who got next? Who got next? You can ask B. Jones or head coach. Who got next? Who got next? You next up, so here's my vote.
We breaking next and you up next. Yeah, SLT Nation. Welcome back to another fire episode of Sports Life Talks. You got next, a platform that gives exposure to the voices of tomorrow. Amazing human beings doing amazing things and accomplishing big dreams. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we heading up to Cook, Minnesota to talk to all-world multi-sport coach and former athlete Krystal Brodeen in the building. How you doing today, Coach?
Good. How about you guys?
I'm good, Coach.
Kevin, we can finally say we got Coach K on the show.
Yep. I don't like my girls using it, but they use it anyway. So
now we using it today for the next 35 minutes. SLT Nation, buckle up because we got Coach K in the building. I am your host, the mouth of the South, B. Jones, the Louisiana, Mr. Yeet himself. I'm rocking alongside of my co-host, my brother from another mother, the architect, the head coach KT. Kev, how you doing, man?
You know, B. Jones, for some reason I feel perfect today. I don't know why, but I just feel perfect.
Man, you can't. Oh Lord, y'all, we gonna.
Hey, nobody else know about the inside joke. Just let it go.
One day we gonna unleash a bloopers reel or something, so we can tell y'all some of these inside jokes. Like, check this out. If this is your first time joining the show, Kevin and I want to say thank you so much. We couldn't do this without you. We wake up every day with this ambition of trying to find you guys amazing guests, and through your support over the last 2 years, Kevin and I have grown substantially, but we can't stop that momentum right now. 2022 has been amazing, and those of you who are watching right now, let's get to cooking. Cook, Minnesota, stand up for us, and on the count of three in Sports Life Talk tradition, we are going to smash that subscribe button. Coach K, your people ready? The girls ready? The team ready? The squad ready? We ready. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, thank you so much for helping us to beat the algorithm, for helping us to grow. If you just became part of the Sports Life Talk family, because we don't do fans, we don't do follows, we do family members here. If you just became part of it, thank you so much. Welcome to the family. And also go check out over 160 episodes of You Got Next. We got coaches, Olympians, athletes. This thing is absolutely bananas. But you didn't come here today for that. You came here for a very special one. Because we've had multi-sport athletes, we've had coaches, but we've never had multi-sport coaches. Coach K, are you ready for the Sports Life Talk initiation?
I'm ready.
Let's get it, KT.
All right, Coach, to initiate you into the SLT family, you got to give us your top 5 music artists.
Ooh, I'd say Drake, Nicki Minaj, like Halsey, New Edition is a fave, and then The Weeknd.
All right, so B. Jones, Halsey is new. We have new?
Yeah, she's very new.
No, I'm talking about New Edition. We have New Edition? I think one person may have said that before, right?
If we went 2 years and nobody said New Edition, this is the best guess ever.
Yeah. 90s R&B is where it's at.
90s R&B. Coach K, I tell them all the time. I like these little Thundercats these days don't understand how to talk to women. They don't know what it's even like to go into mag mode because they ain't have 90s R&B.
Well, B. Jones, they don't have to because the women are so aggressive now, so they don't have to put in any work.
But it's something special. We were growing up with 90s R&B and it helped us.
I totally agree. But Coach,
if Johnny Gill comes and starts singing to me, I don't think I could say no.
Coach can't say Johnny Gill. It's over, huh, Coach? It's over. Johnny Gill.
All right, so what's your favorite New Edition song?
Like the older one or the newer ones?
Any new
What about
edition?
the old ones? It's
older
only
ones,
one. I'm hoping she
the
said
old
one.
ones, Can You Stand the Rain?
Yes.
Like just the classic. But I mean, they got so many good ones. Like their new ones are good too.
Yeah, but
So.
mine is If It Isn't Love. I think that's my
that
favorite
one.
new edition
Do the
song.
dance and everything. And
Oh yeah, I would have.
have you seen the biopic that they did?
Yeah, so for BET, that one.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, mine is Home Again. Nobody asked me, but I loved Home Again.
Well, Jones, nobody really cared about you, but I'm glad that you did get yours in there. All right, Coach. So, who are some of your favorite sports teams?
Well, being from Minnesota, I don't really get my hopes up like that. So I feel like I'm more like I follow the players and the coaches. Like if I really like the coaches, I'm kind of like that. Like I was a big, or still am a Dawn Staley fan. So to see them win this year was awesome. And then she retweeted me back in February. I got one of her hoodies that she was from Philly. So that was pretty cool. And on 2/22/22. So that was some good basketball mojo, I think.
Hey, that's epic. That's
right?
epic.
So speaking of Minnesota real quick, B. Jones, I'm going to detour just a little bit. What is up with all these protesters at these games?
I've seen that. Like, I don't. And then they went to Memphis, didn't they? On one, like they followed the team.
Yeah, but like the other night, I think last night they had 2 or 3. We just didn't see all of them.
Yeah, they do a good job at hiding them, which is crazy. I mean, it was news enough that we tied it up. I mean, I think that's.
Oh yeah,
so.
that's
that was pretty good last night.
Yeah, that's a real dope series right there. All right, so who is your favorite superhero and why?
Well, I just, and no shame, but I just started watching Marvel during quarantine. So I watched that with my sister and her husband, and I think Iron Man stands out to me. He was cool just because he was just like the ringleader, and he was kind of like a coach, if you will. I mean, he kind of took the leadership of everybody, and then he's funny too. So
okay, so Iron Man. Since every good superhero needs their own theme music, what would your theme song be?
Oh, well, if you ask any of like my assistant coaches I've had or like my close friends, Return of the Mac is like my ultimate hype song. Yes. So they, every time it's playing at like wherever they're at, the bar or whatever, they send it to me and they're like, oh, and yeah. So.
No, hey, that Return of the Mac is a classic. If you listen to it after the show, go download that.
Oh my God. All right, B. Jones. I think it's safe to say that Coach K is in the family. So go ahead and take it away, man.
Hey, Coach K, not only are you in the family, but I'm going to call out your new play cousin, Kevin, because on our show, Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, Kevin butchered the Minnesota Timberwolves, Coach. I don't know why they celebrating like that. They
celebrated that. Come on, B. Jones. You know they
Coach,
did.
I'm calling them out right now, Coach, because I swear Kevin went hard on them Timberwolves, and I said, hey, as a citizen of Minnesota, how epic was that to see that team bring the city together and the crowd going crazy to make that play-in game? I thought it was special. I thought it was a moment of arrival. I thought it meant something more. And to the fans, that's what the sport was all about. But Kevin, they professionals. Act like you've been here before, Pat Beverly.
Well, and Pat Beverly came back to Minnesota because he was a big KG fan. Like that was like who he grew up like kind of like idolizing. So for him to be back in Minnesota is a special thing for him. Not saying I'm like a huge fan of him or whatever. I mean, he does him, but just that. And like, if you've ever like followed Minnesota sports and all the heartbreak that we have, like, just let us have one thing. Let us get excited if we get to the next one. And I mean, life's short. Just celebrate the wins when you can.
Celebrate the wins.
Don't be a hater.
B. Jones, you messy. I just want to let you know you real messy, but just go ahead.
All right, Coach K. Well, let's celebrate the wins because today is going to be a celebration of you. You are a new family member, and your story's kind of crazy. So now, were you born and raised in Cook, Minnesota? Where are you originally from?
Yes, I'm from Cook, Minnesota. So small town, like 500 people. So a lot of people kind of when I recruit these girls from all over, they're kind of like, oh, I'm from a small town. I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah, 500 is like a block, you know?
Yeah, literally. Like I graduated with like 40 people in my class, I think. And that was after we combined with our rival school for my senior year. So.
Now, how was that? I've never heard of that one. That's kind of like the Friday Night Lights, the TV show, where they had both rival schools joining.
Yeah, so we actually, it was like, they're about 30 minutes away. And we were like kind of the top 2 sports teams in a lot of our like section play and everything. So combining, we were like even better, just like lethal. So my senior year, volleyball, we went to the section championship, lost in 5 games. But then basketball, we went undefeated. We were beating every team like 80, 90 to like 30 something. So we were just, it was bad. And then, so we lost by 1 point in the section, the semifinals. So the team that went on to get second at state in our section, we beat them by 10 in the regular season. So it's still salty about that. But
dang. So, Coach, you were hooping? Like, it seemed like to me you were a multi-sport athlete. So tell us a little bit about you coming up playing sports.
So I'm like 6 feet tall. So I was a post player. I was, you know,
get it, girl.
Yep, like volleyball player. I love volleyball, but like I think basketball is just my sport that I like never get sick of, no matter if it's like watching, playing, any of that. Volleyball is super fun. I love it. It's such a mental game that people don't realize. So coaching it's even tougher because you're, you know, constantly keeping the girls going. But basketball is just like, I can watch it all day long. I can coach it. So that's kind of what my dream has been, is just to go for basketball. So
now, how did you get into playing basketball? Is just nothing else to do in Cook, Minnesota, with the rest of the corner?
Pretty much. Also, like Minnesota and like my family, like we're a hockey town family.
Minnesota. We got to say Minnesota.
Yep, in Minnesota. So, but we didn't have hockey in my town because, I mean, it was so small. So you'd have to travel like an hour or so to play and get rink time. So my sister and I got into basketball at like a really early age, like kindergarten, 2nd grade. She is 2 years younger than me. So, you know, we did everything together, but started playing really young. And then, it was just Saturday morning basketball. It turned into, you know, grade school and then high school. And then actually didn't play right out of high school in college. I went to a 4-year, you know, thinking, I got to get out of the small town. I got to experience life a little bit. And then I missed it so bad. So I actually went back to community college, played 1 year, graduated in a year, and then went back to my university and graduated there. So,
any siblings, Coach? Did you come up with any siblings? Or?
Yeah, just my younger sister. So we're about like 1.5 years, 2 years apart.
Okay, steppers. So y'all very competitive, or what does she do? Is she a coach, or tell us a little bit about
well, so she owns her own business. She opened her own restaurant in our hometown at the age of 22. So we're some independent, strong women, and we push each other, and we're best friends now. Growing up, we were so competitive, and she always wanted to be like me and copy me, and it drove me nuts. And I was more like the extrovert. She's the introvert. Like, you know, I was homecoming queen, all that. She was the 4.0 student. So, you know, we were like strong in our own ways, but then after college, we kind of came, and now we're like best friends. So it's really cool. And she's like, I don't know how you coach. I could never do that. I'm like, I could never run a business. And she cooks at the restaurant. So like, she's like doing everything. And I'm like, yeah, we just respect each other's hustle now.
I'm gonna need your help because it's tough dealing with this dude. He my brother, and it's tough dealing with him, man. So, all right. Right. So how did you go from playing? Because I know there had to be kind of a mental transition, and I'm always curious. I'm not a coach, right? So I'm always curious, how does somebody go from being an elite athlete or a high caliber athlete, you know, playing their whole lives, and then all of a sudden the sun sets on that part of your career, whether it be through injuries or just, you know, your time has ran out, and then now you have to kind of convert that mentality over to being able to teach one, because every good soldier can't be a sergeant, you know what I mean? So there's a certain set of skills that come along with being able to coach, train, teach, and motivate a group of kids to perform at their highest level and even excel what your capabilities are, right? So tell us a little bit about that transition in your life, Coach.
Yeah, so I did not want to be a coach at all. Like, I feel like I had more negative coaches in my life than I did positive ones. So coaching was just not a thing. Like, no way. And they don't make enough money, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's such a hard job. And then I found myself back in Minnesota. I was in Iowa for 2 years. I was back in Minnesota. Didn't have a job at the time. I was just kind of looking around. I was like, I don't want to be here in this small town forever. And my provost at my old college I went to at Vermillion called me up and was like, hey, you know, we just had our women's athletics coach quit. Like, would you be interested in coaching volleyball and potentially basketball too? And I was like, hey, you know, why not? I don't got anything else to do. So like 2 weeks later, I couldn't recruit because this was end of July, you know, and it starts like in August. So did that. I had 6 or 7 girls for volleyball. I don't think we won a game that first season. I only had like 7 or 8 for basketball. We won 1 game. And I was like, you know, this is just, you know, next year, okay, I can recruit. I have no excuses next year. I can recruit. And then, so the next year I had more girls in each sport, but volleyball went a little bit better than basketball. We actually had like a kind of a traumatic drowning incident that happened in the beginning of the school year with a student. And my girls had actually witnessed it. So that was like a hard thing that we dealt with the entire year. And like my girls were struggling. Yes, very much. And you know, they're away from home. They're in this tiny town in Minnesota. So that was like a thing that I never thought I would deal with, you know, like trauma and like, you know, just helping girls, you know, in the grieving process, because nobody was like in the same process at the same time. Like they were all kind of different. So then, you know, we go through the basketball season. We won a couple games and made it through though. I mean, we had 6 girls at some point. We ended a couple games with 2 or 3 girls. I don't know if you knew that you can do that, but I learned so much about basketball that year that I did not know before. And then the school decided to go in a different direction. They wanted to hire, the AD had just retired. So they wanted a full-time position with athletic director, volleyball and basketball to make it like a full-time position. So I wasn't eligible. I didn't have my master's degree, and it was kind of like, I had a full-time job, mind you, when I was coaching both sports. I had a full-time job. So I was like, I'm just going to go focus on my full-time job. And, you know, like just, it was a good run. And I missed it so bad. Like every day I was like, I just miss being around my girls. I miss practice. I miss games. So then I was like, you know what? I think coaching is for me. And I decided to pursue my master's degree in coaching and athletic administration at Concordia. So I started that online. And then a couple months later, COVID hit. So Nobody's coaching. Nobody, you know, I was a wedding planner. My full-time job was. So obviously weddings weren't happening. So I got laid off. And then I was like, you know what? This is my sign. I doubled up on my classes. I was like, I'm going to get this degree done. So as soon as this COVID crap is done, I'm ready to go get another job. And that's exactly what happened. So.
Now, Kevin introduced the whole superhero aspect to the show because, you know, it's this thing that he feels like, you know, every superhero has that story, right? And it always kind of comes from something toxic or negative happened, falling in a vat of acid or you know, being bit by a spider, whatever it may be. It starts from something crazy. I got to admit, your superhero origin story is exactly what it is.
It wasn't as first. When people asked me, I was like, oh, I just got a head coaching job, and it was like whatever. But now I've been through all of this adversity where I'm like, okay, now it makes sense.
Now it does make sense. So tell us a little bit about, you know, because me and Kevin, we rocking with you, Raider Nation. We wearing the maroon today. It's maroon season. Tell us a little bit about Raider Nation and how you got over there at Central Lakes.
Yeah, so I actually had applied to the job like in the summertime, and then with how the hiring process went, I was still at Vermilion coaching volleyball, and we had our season canceled, and then we brought it back because we had 8 girls, and I was like, just give us the chance to play, like, you know, we'll do it. We just want to have the ability to play. You know, so 6 of the 8 had played before, you know, it was like just this really, but I had some really good, talented, athletic girls. So I was like, let's just go. They came back for this women's basketball job here at Central Lakes. And, you know, they're like, oh, you'd have to leave. I'm like, I can't quit on my girls. Like, I got to stay for this volleyball season. Like, if it's not God's timing, it's not God's timing. So I was just like, you know, like, best of luck. I'm just going to stick it out here. So go through the season. We actually made it to the regional tournament for the first time in 20 years. So my girls were killing it. So proud. It was so much fun. Like you know, we go in like the underdogs, you know, the small team, and we were just knocking people off. So then regional tournaments hosted here at Central Lakes because they had number 1 seed. I mean, Coach Peterson is like a legend here. She's been to nationals the past 7 years in a row. So, you know, it's David and Goliath, right? You know, we're seeded 4th, they're 1st. We go up against them. We actually beat them in the first set. which was huge. Like my girl, like my emotions were everywhere. It was
you
nuts.
feeling it now. You like, oh my goodness.
I was crying. I was like, it was crazy, but it was so fun. And then after they ended up beating us in the next 3 sets. But we gave it our all. And then after the game, Coach Peterson was like, good job. Like, we see you trying, your girls are competitive. They're having fun playing, they're playing for each other. And so that was just kind of like a good pat on the back where I'm like, okay, I'm doing good where I'm at. Like I always try to say, just do good where you're at. And then it was like a week later, they called me and they're like, hey, the coach that was here, put in his resignation, for family, like, a separate issue other than the school. And we were wondering if you're still interested. And I was like, and after all of like the adversity that we went through for like pushing for, people to support us. And, we did this big thing, like we made it to the regional tournament and then nobody really showed up to watch us play. So that was kind of like my sign to like, I'm going to go where I'm wanted. I'm going to go. And like every coach here at Central Lakes is just so like top notch, like elite, that I'm like, I'm going to go and surround myself with people that are successful because like you are who you surround yourself with. So I took it and, we didn't have a season this year. So I've just been recruiting all winter, but it's been so great and so supportive. And I'm like, I know this is where I'm supposed to be right now.
All right. Well, you home now.
Yes.
Now. All right. But you also Kevin, I couldn't tee this up no better. This was not scripted. Sports Life Talk Nation. Her favorite superhero is Tony Starks, the Iron Man. And you have an AAU team that we're going to call the Iron Girls, the Tony Starks Elite. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's funny because my old college, we were the Iron Women. And then now I'm here with the Raiders and then Starks Elite. Yeah. So
Starks Elite. So tell us a little bit about Starks Elite.
Oh, so this was my first year coaching AAU. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to, because I hear the horror stories of AAU and parents and refs and all of that. So when I agreed to do it, and then they were like, oh, it's 13U. I'm like, oh, I'm used to college girls where, you can kind of push them and you can swear at them if you need to. And, you're talking about those like adult issues. And then so I was like, I don't know if I can go to like 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds. Like, but my first day I've got 10 and they are like so balanced. I've got like 2 of every position. They're so competitive. They're so funny. They're so nice. Like after every practice, they dap me up and say, thanks coach. Like, thanks. Like after practice, I'm like, my older girls don't even do this. But our first weekend we won 1 game. And then second weekend we got 3rd place. So, it was all improvement. And then this last weekend we tore it up and we won the championship by 30 points.
What?
So, and you should see them play. Like, and I've been giving them homework every week. And during the Sweet 16, I gave them homework to watch the women's games and watch their benches and like watch how they cheer themselves on. And I think that stuck a lot quicker than I thought it would, because now, when the quiet girl gets a steal or like the girl that doesn't really score a lot gets a 3, they're out there like they're going nuts. The whole, one girl's like, coach, look at my hands. They're so red from clapping. Like they're swollen, they're like, oh, this is so fun. Like they say that all the time and that just makes me happy. So I'm just trying to build their confidence up and get them out there where, you go out there and you just compete. No matter your skill level. So I think we're doing a good job. So we got 4 more tournaments to go and we'll see how they turn out. So
coach, I want to have some fun. What position can I play? Because I want to be on this sideline.
No, I've had a couple people sit on our bench and they're like, I want to go play with these girls because it's so fun. And I'm like, I'd probably not be able to. I'd be sore for a week if I went and played at the level that they do, but they impress me every day. They're awesome. So
all right, coach. So we asked a question on our show, which you can watch Wednesdays on YouTube and Twitter. We used to do Facebook, but we jumped off there. All right. Would you rather be loved by your players or feared?
Loved, I think.
Yeah,
because I had some coaches that, and I feel like some of the ones that do have that fear, it's a lot of like faking it till you make it. Because, they cover up like, maybe what they don't know or what they're, not very strong, like they don't know a lot about with just like aggressiveness, like, so then you don't ask them questions. But I'm like, if I can be there, one-on-one with my girls, like, and I had one of my volleyball girls say this fall, like, oh, we're going to miss you. Like you actually cared about us as people. Like if we were all burnt out, like we didn't go hard in practice. We talked more about what we could do, or we watched more film. They're like, you actually listened to us and treated us like people rather than just like machines. So I try to, when I first started coaching, I was the other way around. I was the feared, like, cause that's just what you think, a coach needs to do. But I quickly found out through like my master's program and, trial and error that the love goes a long way.
Yeah, because on our show, B. Jones said feared, and I said love. So I'm gonna throw you out there too, like you did me, B. All right, Coach. Speaking of love, this is the part of the show I'm gonna get in your business. Okay.
Okay.
You've seen the movie Love and Basketball, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. For Sports Life Talk, you are Monica Wright. Is there someone currently in your life that played you for your heart and won?
No, I'd say, no rings on these fingers. I feel like coaching is hard to like with relationships. And then as like a female coach, I get like, plenty of guys that are like, let me play you one-on-one. Or I hate that pickup line. I absolutely hate it. Or, the ones that kind of like are a little intimidated, or maybe like, I don't know what the word is, but they try to put you down a little bit, or like, oh, is this your first coaching job? Or I even had one guy be like, oh, you actually know what you're talking about. And
wow, what an idiot.
Yeah, so it's pretty hard to find like, somebody that's like super supportive and that can like respect the women independent, and like I'm all about women empowerment and like having strong, independent women. Like that's what I try to get my girls to be. So if a guy can't respect that, then it's just a waste of time.
Yeah, B. Jones, she mentioned intimidating. She is 6 feet. So that's probably.
I was just about to ask that, Kevin. I was just about to ask that. So you're 6 feet tall, Coach. Are there height requirements? Kevin normally would ask this question, but I'm curious. Are there height requirements in this game?
Not like I'm not like, oh, they need to be this, and this. Like I'm 27 now. I've thrown those kind of like little bitty things out the window, but I feel like short guys really like tall girls. Like I get a lot of short guys that are like so fearless, and they're just like, and I love the confidence, but it's kind of funny sometimes.
Yeah, you're gonna be like 6-7 inches taller than once you put on some heels.
Yeah, and I do for some games. I'll put them on. I'm not scared. So like that's even funnier when I coach against guys that are shorter than me too. Yeah, my girls always like to point it out too. So
yeah. All right, B. Jones, it's that time, man.
All right, Coach K. Welcome to the championship rounds. This is the part of the show where Kevin and I, we turn on each other, and you are now officially calling all the shots. Now, have you ever played a game called Would You Rather before?
Yes.
All right, so the rules are very simple. Both hosts, Kevin and I, will present you an option. You select one of those options. Whichever option you select, that host will gain a point. The first host to get 2 points, or the best out of 3, will win this episode's game of championship rounds. And for those of you in SLT Nation that are keeping up, Kevin has a nice little lead. I caught him. I got to give myself credit because I was down by like 8 games. I came back. I caught him. We tied it up. But Kevin has stretched it out a little bit. The producers are showing him a little bit more love. So he's at 25 games. I am at 22 games. So Coach K, I came on. Hey, Raider Nation, I need y'all to show me some love right now.
You always do that. You always do that. I need the Raider Nation to show me some love when I'm the one that reached out to her.
That's irrelevant.
No, it's not, man. If you trying to throw something out there, I'm throwing it out there too.
Hey, we need a way to get the fans to vote on this thing. By the end of this year, we're going to have a way for fans to start voting on who wins that episode of the championship rounds. But with that being said, Coach, we got to kick this thing off. We got to go to war. So it's on and popping, KT. Let's go.
All right. Would you rather have a shoe made by Nike named after you, or
would you rather have the Krystal Brodeen Award named after you for whatever you think it should represent?
I've seen this on some of your guys' episodes, and I was really, I had my mind made up, but I'm going to go with the shoe, and then with the profits, make a scholarship.
Damn. Hold up, B.
That's
Jones.
better than an award.
Yeah, I got a good sound effect. What was up with that?
You know, I'm trying to turn the page, but God, Coach, you couldn't. I mean, she warped the question because she gonna still get the award later on. All right, so what if I said that this scholarship or this award is going to come with like $100,000 scholarship for a kid?
Well, that's not fair.
Whoever watching this,
sneakerhead too, so you can't like not have the shoe and just.
Coach, I saw you as a sneakerhead. I zoomed in on a couple of pads you got too. I see you rocking the AJ1s. We should have talked about that, but it's okay. We're in the middle of championship rounds right now. I'm not smiling. This ain't a game. Come on.
Okay, because you're down.
Yeah, I'm down already.
That was pretty funny, B. Jones. All right, round 2. Would you rather win a conference title 10 years in a row with a shot to make it to the tournament, or
I'm guaranteeing you a slot in the championship game? Central Lakes is in the championship game, but you just don't know if you're going to win, lose, or draw.
But the other one is 10 years in a row to make it.
Basically, you win your conference title and you in the tournament, right? You're going to get you guarantee you the slot in the tournament. So you just got to win the 5 or 6 games it takes to get to the championship game. But I'm saying you won the 5 or 6 games. You get this one illustrious shot. People have went their whole careers and never competed for the national.
I beat you. Stop. She picked yours. You can stop talking.
Yes, because I mean, the conferences could go either way. That could be like an easy dub some years. So that's not too difficult. But to make it to the championship, that's special.
Yeah, it's very special. That's why I gave you that option.
Yeah, you kept talking. You gonna give her all the options, and she already picked yours.
Because I wanted to make sure she understood, Kevin, the gravity of the situation. I was over there.
You trying to say Coach isn't smart now? Oh, Coach, you gotta give me this.
She's smart. She beautiful. She talented. Hey, that's why all you short guys better step up. Get some platform shoes. All right. All right, round number 3. Here we go, Coach. The producers always give me this one. All right, here we go. Would you rather go back in time, knowing what you know now, with the opportunity to fix all the mistakes you ever made on your journey, or
fast forward 15 years and have a coaching tree full of head coaches and assistants?
Oh, the coaching tree for sure. Because I feel like everything happens for a reason. So why would I want to go back and change it? Like,
congratulations, Kevin.
That was a really good one, though. I feel like a lot of coaches would want to go back and change things, but I feel like I went through those for a reason, and like I gotta just embrace that.
That's good, Coach. I'm glad you embraced
that ready.
Yeah, B. Jones. Both teams played hard, man. It was a very good game. I appreciate you, brother.
Coach, you don't understand how heartbroken I am right now.
I'm so sorry.
And I'm going to try to push through. I'm going to try to push through here, Kevin. If I hope it feel good, because it's coming home. I'm just telling you right now. All of y'all watching
this thing right here.
We in May. We in May right now. Just be patient, because by December,
we already in May and we did like 50-something shows, man. We
working hard, bro. We working hard, man. Yeah. All right, Coach K, Krystal. The topic of the show, or the title of the show, you got next. You got your volleyball season. You got basketball. We got a lot cooking out there in Cook, Minnesota. What does the future hold for you?
So, I mean, this year I'm just so excited to get my basketball team together and get them on campus and just take it to some teams. Like, our conference just wasn't very strong this last year. So watching from, the sidelines and going to all these games and recruiting has just been torture. But I'm ready to get out there with my girls and just really, like JUCO, there is no thing as a rebuilding year. Like, it's just, you got to come for it. So I'm excited for that. And just to have my girls around me and have those relationships and, get through adversity and all that. Like, I'm so pumped for that. So.
All right. So we see Twitter on the screen. So are there any other places where people can find you on social media?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at @KBroder. You can follow me on Facebook if you want to see my family tag me in embarrassing old throwback pictures. That's all that is. Yeah, that's about it.
And do you have any shout outs that you want to give?
I'd say the whole Central Lakes staff here. I mean, they've just been phenomenal. I love how they treat athletics and how we take it super seriously here. Like, it doesn't feel like JUCO half the time, with the standards that we set. And then just like my female kind of coaches that I've built around me, you know, like just that support system. And then my family, of course, like in the beginning, they thought I was crazy for coaching. And then now when I got this job, they moved me here on like the coldest day of the year. It was like 30 below. And they all got in the car and helped me move in, and like they're coming to my games and watching, and you know they wear the Raider gear and stuff now, and we haven't even played a game, so I love them for that.
All right, Coach. So this is part of the show where you get a chance to call out the person who should have next. Tell them, hey, I got a chance to rock with B. Jones and KT. I told them my story. I want you to do the same thing. With that said, Coach, who are you giving your game ball to?
I got two, if that's cool. But Tamara Moore has been a real one since we've kind of connected. And so Tamara Moore, she played in the WNBA. She was a standout at University of Wisconsin. And then it was in the WNBA for 6 years. And now she's the head men's coach at Mesabi Range College, which is in our conference. So we play them twice a year. So I coached against her in this all-star game that we had last month, and that was super fun. We won by 5. I told her, I was like, the fact that I can say that I beat you and then I don't have to have a rematch with you, like I'm not playing on the men's side, is like a thing for me. But she'd be great to have on here, and like just kind of where she's coming from and what she deals with as being a men's head coach as African-American woman. So, and then Deami Starks, he's been awesome. He's kind of like our ringleader at starkselite. He's done a great job, just kind of, you know, showing his father's legacy in the Duluth area in Minnesota, and like just empowering these young kids to go out there and get noticed. So,
hey, Deami and Tomorrow, y'all sound super dope. We gotta have you on the show. We will be reaching out to you. You are on the clock, but Coach K. Brodeen, you the smoothest. You dope, little sis. We love having you on the show. You're amazing. You're talented. You're smart. Oh, man. I just got to work with you on your pick'em skills, right? So, because
yes, please.
Coach K, your future is super bright. Me and Kevin got to come up there one of these days, come see your teams play. But you got next. Sports Life Talk Nation.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
We did it again. Man, I love this part of the show because guess what? Not only did we just have be able to play a part and participate in the dope story, but we get to give you that opportunity one more again to join the family. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this show with some people because somebody out there need to hear this story. I'm telling you, it is your responsibility to keep this momentum going because we so appreciate you. And go and smash that subscribe and come check us out. We got Kevin and I. We go live every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, Kev, you said we on Twitter and YouTube, right? YouTube is the main one. Yeah, and it is an interactive show. So when you come on and come hang out with us, you actually, like, as we're talking, you get to boo Kevin and his horrible takes. You get to, like, say, Kevin is crazy, or you get to say, hey, I like that Mouth of the South because you so dope, right? You get to come and be a part of the show. And we go with two other guests, two other hosts, Gemini Jones and KD Miss Manhattan. So it's just smooth. It's smoother than peanut butter. And also, Kevin and I, we giving out free t-shirts. That's right. If you want to get this Central Lakes Raiders version, all you got to do is go to our IG page, tag in 5 friends at SportsLifeTalk to this promo, and shoot us your address and your name and your size. We're gonna show you some love. That's how simple this is. You help us to grow.
We got you, Coach.
You already got it, Coach. You already know it's coming your way. We appreciate you so much for coming on this thing, Kevin. Man, am I missing anything? I know I talk a lot. I know I'm missing something. I'm still kind of got that little buzz.
This is like me recruiting B. Jones. Like I'm just like blah, 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 you know, like, oh, what'd I miss?
That's right. You can recruit KG Coach.
Yeah. All right. So B. Jones, isn't Prince from Minnesota?
Yeah, he is. I think so. Purple Rain.
I was trying. You didn't mention him in your top 5, though, right?
I did. I mean, he's a classic, but the other ones are in my playlist a whole lot more. So
yeah, just because she's from Minnesota don't mean she got.
Oh no, I just had to ask a question. B. Jones, I'm pretty sure people were like, "Hey, Prince is from Minnesota," so yeah.
Yes.
Right, but I'm gonna tell you something. I'm just glad she didn't mention the Minnesota Miracle over my New Orleans Saints. Kevin, I was ready.
Oh, I wish I
will never forget that day. I will.
But there's no point in us talking about it. Sports Life Talk Nation. We love y'all. Stay safe. Be blessed. Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead. Tell us about that day. Tell us about that day. Everybody was ready to go home.
I live tweeted it. Like I look back and I'm still laughing at my tweets because I was crying. I was jumping up. I fell to the ground. I was in my sister's apartment and her husband and I were just freaking out. And yeah, so and then the next week though. So that's
laughing my pain
though.
Okay, so you needed to do that. All right.
Like that was like the Minneapolis Miracle. Like let us have that moment. Like that
I will.
That'll forever go down. But then
I celebrate with what's his name, Stephon Diggs every time he scored a touchdown because he ain't in Minnesota no more. I celebrate.
Yeah. What can you do? They all leave eventually.
Yeah. Coach K, you the truth. We really appreciate you coming on. Sports Life Talk Nation. We love y'all. Stay safe, be blessed, respect each other, and love one another because together we are better. And keep dreaming big. All of y'all, all my folks out there in Cooks, Minnesota, because you never know. Your story may be the next one featured on Sports Life Talks. You got next. Yeet.
See what's crazy is I knew you had next because you always working, you always grinding, you're in your bag because you're always working. Like in due time, I knew you got next. Oh, you did it, huh? Crack the code. You got next, you smashing goals. You want next, you need exposure. Well, Sports Life Talk got the baddest show, like the baddest in the room. Podcast to tune into just for you to talk your shit. Talk your mushroom. You are what you eat and you should consume. Sports Life Talk from the late night to the afternoon, then rest repeat. Hit the like, leave a comment, or subscribe so you don't miss a beat. You got next, just a small taste of a winning meal from a chef type of celebrity. What's up next is you, at least you better be. Yeah, you got next, yeah. I can feel it, you're a winner just like me. You got next, and what comes next? Tune in next time and you'll see. Cause if you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you're just like me. If you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you know where to be. I'm talking Sports Life, talking this. Yeah, yeah, yeah.